Hi, my name is Sean Slattery. This is my exhibition, The First 100 Days, at the Winchester Cultural Arts Center Gallery. And it's looking at the first 100 days of the Trump presidency and what has changed in culture in the lead up to that. This idea actually started during the campaign time. So this wall is a series of comic strips that are Dilbert comic strips. It purports to be the pencils that would be then inked for the newspaper. However, Dilbert is actually, I believe, digitally made, so no real pencils actually exist. The third panel is also not part of the original Dilbert, and I've written something that's supposed to be equally funny or not funny. The idea of not having the panel match is, so it's not pure appropriation, it's actually going into the fiction and exploring what's happened to truth, what's happened to how we deal with facts. It seems we can blatantly lie now. If we repeat it enough, we just accept it as fact. And so that's what a lot of this is looking at, and that's why there's 100 days of these. I think my favorite, not my favorite, but the most significant is sort of one of the pieces to the show is why it's second to last. Is simply this, where Dilbert is sort of in my idea, he's waking up after the election. He's waking up a year down the road and he's saying, okay, what have we done? We've seen, and this would be perceived from the stereotypical white male behind the keyboard that was just doing this for nihilistic fun, doing this just, let's break the system. I understand that urge. I understand we have a broken system prior to Trump, but by breaking it and bringing, I think him in particular, might have been more than we actually bargained for. This is people's jobs, lives. It's president. It sets the direction of our country, and that might not be where we want to tamper with bringing down all the walls. I am white and I'm male, and I'm blind to a lot of what we weren't doing as progress. So being able to see it firsthand and understand that perhaps there was way more room to go than I thought, but to see us now taking, in my opinion, steps back, I did have to address it in my art for some reason. I just chose to. I'm not a politician. I can't affect change other than with my vote and my support of organizations. So this was something I could directly do. But these paintings specifically very different, and what they reference is what we've seen in the last year or so, where we're seeing George Bush make a comeback in the news primarily for being a painter now. And I think it's interesting how once the president has left their office, shy of Nixon perhaps, we stopped talking about what they did. We stopped talking about the consequences of their actions while in office. We moved to all our attention to who's currently in office. So now Bush, who along with other presidents is very responsible for a lot of what's happening in the world today, especially in the Middle East, China, Russia, our relationships with them. We don't look at that anymore. When we look at him, we look at him as a painter. So this is my imagining of Donald Trump in 2027, rehabilitated also as a painter, and here what look like abstract pastoral scenes are still references to Dilbert. So you have the eyes or the glasses from Dilbert. These little tree, shrub-like objects reference the pointy-haired boss, who is one of the characters up here. And then we have this weird boat in a sea-looking object, which is referencing one of the characters' hair. So again, it's still tying into this idea of Trump being in celebratory of the Dilbert sort of me first culture. This is the titled The Cave, and it's a reference directly to Plato's cave. And it is the only visual element of Trump in this actual show that we have, and those are his lips on both of the figures there. Going back to the cave, because again, that's where people are trying to, one of the first stories of people trying to figure out what's real, what's not real, and the debate on what is it best to know reality, is it best not to? I think that debate, amazingly, is still going on right now. I would love for you to come down and see it. I've put a lot of work into this, and I think it's a statement that I stand behind. It's on view from now until March 30th. Thank you very much.